The fragile independence of the Greek city-states hung in the balance. In 338 BCE at Chaeronea, Philip II of Macedon, with his teenage son Alexander commanding a crucial cavalry wing, faced a formidable alliance of Athens and Thebes. This titanic clash would not only decide the fate of Greece, but also mark Alexander's baptism by fire in a major battle. A display of courage and tactical skill that heralded his future military genius. By 338 BCE, Philip II's shadow loomed large over Greece. Decades of meticulous military reform, cunning diplomacy, and aggressive expansion had transformed Macedon from a peripheral kingdom into the dominant military power in the Hellenic world. His growing influence and encroachments on territories considered vital by southern Greek states, particularly Athens and Thebes, had finally led to open confrontation. The long-simmering resentment and fear of Macedonian hegemony were about to erupt into a decisive battle that would reshape the political map of Greece. The stage for this climactic encounter was the plain of Chaeronea in Boeotia. The path to Chaeronea was paved with Philip's relentless ambition. He had intervened in the Third Sacred War, gaining a foothold in central Greece and a seat on the Amphictyonic Council, a prestigious religious body. He had subdued Thessaly, incorporated Thrace, and continually pressured the Chalcidian League, eventually destroying its leading city, Olynthus. Despite Athenian efforts to aid it, the brilliant Athenian orator Demosthenes had long warned his fellow citizens about the Macedonian threat, delivering fiery speeches, his Philippics urging resistance. But Athenian responses were often hesitant and too late. The final casus belli involved Philip's siege of Perinthus and Byzantium, cities allied with Athens and crucial for its grain supply from the Black Sea. When Philip's actions led to the seizure of an Athenian grain fleet, Athens, finally spurred to decisive action and allied with its traditional rival Thebes, declared war. Thebes, possessing one of the most formidable land armies in Greece, including the elite Sacred Band, 300 warriors bound by loyalty and love, who had famously defeated the Spartans at Leuctra, joined forces with Athens and other Boeotian cities. This Greek alliance represented a significant military challenge to Philip. Philip, welcoming a decisive engagement, marched south with his Macedonian army, a force of around 30,000 infantry and 2,000 cavalry. The Greek allies, commanded by Chares of Athens and Theagenes of Thebes, mustered a slightly larger force, perhaps 35,000 strong, particularly strong in heavy hoplite infantry. They took up a strong defensive position on the plain of Chaeronea, anchoring their left flank on a hill and their right near the Kephissos River, aiming to block Philip's advance into southern Greece. On the Macedonian side, Philip took overall command, positioning himself on the right wing with his elite hypaspists and part of the phalanx. Crucially, he entrusted the command of the vital Macedonian heavy cavalry, the companion cavalry, on the left wing to his 18-year-old son, Alexander. This was an immense responsibility, a testament to Philip's confidence in his son's training, courage, and tactical understanding, likely honed by previous smaller commands and his father's direct mentorship. Alexander was supported by some of Philip's most experienced generals. The battle, fought on a hot August day in 338 BCE, began with a fierce engagement along the entire front. The Macedonian phalanx, with its longer sarissas, clashed with the determined Greek hoplites. On the Greek left, the Athenians, full of patriotic fervor, fought bravely and initially seemed to push back Philip's wing. According to some ancient sources, Philip deliberately feigned a retreat on his wing, drawing the Athenians forward and out of their well-ordered line, seeking to create a gap in the enemy formation. This was a risky maneuver requiring immense discipline from his troops, whether a deliberate feint or a genuine struggle as the Athenians advanced. a gap began to open between them and the Thebans, holding the center and right of the Greek line. This was the moment Alexander, and indeed Philip, had been waiting for. Seizing the opportunity with astonishing speed and precision for such a young commander, Alexander led the companion cavalry in a devastating charge. He didn't aim for the now disordered Athenians, but for the exposed flank or the gap that had emerged near the Theban contingent. The charge of the companions, a wedge of elite horsemen thundering across the plain, was irresistible. Alexander, at its head, reportedly fought with conspicuous bravery, eager to prove himself. They smashed into the Greek lines, possibly targeting the flank of the Theban sacred band. The impact of the cavalry charge was shattering, breaking the cohesion of the Greek formation and sowing panic. Once the Greek line was pierced, the Macedonian phalanx, now relieved of some pressure, advanced with renewed impetus. The Thebans, particularly the sacred band, found themselves attacked from the front by Macedonian infantry and from the flank or rear by Alexander's cavalry. They fought with desperate courage, true to their reputation, refusing to yield. According to Plutarch, they stood their ground and were cut down to a man, falling together where they fought. The site of their mass grave, marked by a stone lion, stands today as a poignant memorial to their valor. With the Thebans broken and the Athenians overextended, and now also facing threats to their flank, the Greek resistance collapsed. The battle turned into a rout. Thousands of Greeks were killed, and many more were taken prisoner. Philip had won a decisive victory, one that effectively ended the era of independent Greek city-state politics. Chaeronea was a triumph for Philip's military system and his strategic genius, but it was also Alexander's coming of age as a military commander. His timely and brilliantly executed cavalry charge was pivotal to the Macedonian victory. He had demonstrated not only personal courage, first blood in a major engagement, but also tactical acumen, decisiveness, and the ability to inspire his men. Philip was reportedly overjoyed with his son's performance, recognizing that his heir was indeed ready for great things. In the aftermath, Philip's treatment of the defeated he was harsh with Thebes, installing a Macedonian garrison in their citadel, the Cadme, and executing or exiling anti-Macedonian leaders. With Athens, however, he was surprisingly lenient, possibly influenced by a desire for their fleet, for his planned invasion of Persia, or by respect for Athens' cultural prestige. He released their prisoners without ransom, and did not impose a garrison, asking only that Athens join his new Hellenic League. The Battle of Chaeronea was a watershed moment. It confirmed Macedonian supremacy over Greece. For Alexander, it was a formative experience, his first major contribution to a historic victory, a validation of his martial training and his father's faith in him. The courage and skill he displayed on that bloody field were a clear harbinger of the military genius that would soon astound the world. He had faced the best of Greece and prevailed, standing at the forefront of the charge that sealed their fate and paved the way for a new Macedonian-led era. See you soon with our next episode on uniting the Greece. Until then, take good care of yourself and the environment around you. Plant a tree even if the world is reaching its end. Have a great day. Stay blessed always.